Whilst the world crumbles all around us, we will clutch for the sides, desperate to patch up Mother Nature, trying to bridge those divides. As the forests and streets are burning and the thick smog encircles, the water is being poisoned and the oceans are being burgled, breeding billions on the land and taking trillions from the seas. We, the human race, are now the world's deadliest disease, as you offered your consent in the means of money or silence to a series of systems that exchanged it for violence, to increase the offshore accounts of tycoons and tyrants exploiting anyone and everyone to ensure early retirement. So many know it's wrong, and yet their morality is suppressed, whilst trillions of someone else's are literally oppressed, as cultural prejudices are normalised with worldwide effect, and arbitrary lines will decide if you're worthy of respect. In a speciesist society that commodifies and subjects and only normalises discrimination in all its concepts, which switches sentient individuals into inanimate objects, which makes liberation and rescue actually property theft. In the ashes of apathy where our values once stood, we could rise from this chaos with the power of good. Though we are a minority, we're enough to ignite a spark, providing hope and a pathway in a world that's so dark. From the depths of despair, we will carve out the light. For justice and freedom, we'll continue the fight. With voices like thunder breaking through all the lies, we will continue to speak loudly for all animal rights. The conditioning we are given is our locks that confine, but veganism is the key for your morals and actions to align. We've broken free from oppression before in the past, so let's push for a world where everyone's free at last.
Free at last! Free at last! Free at last!
We've already dragged the lakes, and now we're emptying all the seas, taking trillions of sentient someones in the world's largest robbery. Whilst chemical runoffs contaminate all of our rivers and streams, entire ecosystems are decimated by fire and machine. The soil is being poisoned and the flight paths are interrupted, creating even more victims as the entire world is corrupted. Entireties of their kind are rendered extinct every year, ensuring a whole species of this planet is no longer here. As the world's population rises at a faster and higher rate, so does the oppression of others in order to compensate. The more privilege born in the West, the more famine in the East, as billions of personal choices create poverty and disease, and trillions have their rights ignored and are seen only as objects, and all of this will continue until the day you object. For the smartest on this sphere, we should all be ashamed of all the tyranny and subjugation that happens in our name, for the genocide and exploitation that we have allowed, and then we blame the victims for being oppressed far too loud, as consumers prefer secrets in the things that they pay for. That way there's no connections made as they demand more. It's easier to avoid the blame and perpetually victim erase than it is to take accountability and invoke any real change. That's why it's always harder when we're speaking the truth, as you're the enemy of the lie and it's threatened by you. As we will soon be turning the corner to enter 2025, stop focusing on the how and only think about the why, as veganism simply is the respecting of sentient life and the opposition to actions which violate their rights, directly challenging speciesism and raising arbitrary lines that could free the world of injustice for the very first time. So ask yourself straight up, what is your argument against peace, and why are you standing directly in the way of its release? If you don't have an answer or are unsure what to say, then it's time to take some accountability for why things are this way.
Have you ever looked up at the stars and wondered why you're still here? Let me tell you why. Life isn't always kind. It breaks us, shatters us, leaves us gasping for air.
When all around feels hopeless, so often we find strength. Even just a new perspective can help the darkness relent, re-engaging with our passions, providing reminders of our worth, and it's the little things which can show us the beauty on this earth. It's the warmth of the sun, or the relief of the breeze, the intricate snowflakes or the falling of leaves, but beyond fleeting wonders, the truth comes to light. The struggle for our freedom is everyone's fight. The chains we dismantle are not ours alone. Justice is woven through marrow and bone, the cries of the silenced, their oppression ignored, demanded by the people whose perception is flawed. Exploitation's a system, a vast tangled thread. It thrives on supremacy from the living and dead. To free one is to free all, a truth we must know. The roots of resistance must compel us to grow. Not reform, not permission, but the end of it all. For the dignity owed to all forms, large and small. No half measures suffice when the stakes are so dire. Only abolition can quench injustice's fire. We must unlearn the myths that fracture and blind, that reduce sacred others to products confined. For every cage built, for every life enslaved, the cost is our humanity, the freedom we crave. We stand at the crossroads of courage and liberation, to unerase all the victims of all this commodification. From the forests and oceans to the streets drenched in pain, we rise as one chorus, all our freedoms our gain. So as the tempo builds, let our choices declare that respect is our power and peace is our prayer. For the justice we cherish, for the lives to transcend, everyone is worthy and speciesism must end. As the final notes drift soft through the air, a vow echoes stronger, we'll always be there. For the earth, for each other, for all sentient life. Make veganism your resolution for 2025.
You're here not by accident, but because the world needs someone exactly like you. Even if you can't see it yet, your story is unfinished. There's love you haven't felt, places you haven't been, joy you haven't known. Stay, because the world is better with you in it.